The pandemic has hurt a lot of businesses. We've reported a ton on that. People are spending more time at home and not going out.
But some people are spending that time at home perfecting some musical talents, or maybe picking up on a new musical talent. Why not? You got nothing else to do. Dan Miller from Schmidt Music joins us today to talk about the surprising boost that he saw in business. Dan, how's it going this morning?
Hey, it's going well. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, well, we decided to check back in with you because we were pretty much the whole Valley News Live newsroom at different times. We're at your store last week, and we were doing some things ahead of the big fundraiser at the Opry over the weekend Saturday night.
On KVLY
and KXJB, helping Feeding America. And as we were in the store, and I know Jordan, you sat down and played a little piano, right?
Yeah, I did. I plunked out a few keys. It was kind of bizarre because they had, how we were shooting, they had the bench moved away from middle. You normally sit at middle C, and then it was also tilted out, so I was kind of felt like off-oriented. I guess that means I'm not that great at it. But
okay, well, Jordan was playing. I'm sure he was great, and I know Hutch Johnson was playing some guitar, and so when I was there visiting with you, I was like, gosh, I bet a lot of people, were still buying guitars during the pandemic, and you're like, actually, yes. So can we talk a little bit about some of the sales that still did well during the pandemic at your store?
Yeah, absolutely. Actually, Hutch did really well. Hutch is pretty good.
And so what are you seeing people walk away with, and why are they saying that now they wanted to kind of start going after some musical skills?
Well, it kind of makes sense. People are at home, they have a lot more time, and people are taking up piano and guitar and other instruments where they wanted to maybe for a lot of years, and now they have some time and they're doing it. So that's great. I mean, it's a great thing. It's an all ages hobby. Anyone from 5 to 95 can play an instrument. And speaking of young kids, ages 5 years old, 5 to 10, ukulele is a great instrument to get kids started. Sometimes they have trouble with guitar at that age, but ukulele's 4 strings. It's a little bit easier. If somebody wants to kind of get their foot in the water with music, that's a great way to get started.
I love that. Did you hear from parents who wanted to, have their children get, do some more lessons while they're at home? Because I feel like we talked about this. My daughter is in orchestra, and I feel like she didn't maybe play her viola as much as she should have when school wasn't necessarily in the classroom. Did you see families starting to do lessons at home with their children?
A lot of teachers are doing lessons, especially when things were pretty bad with COVID. They were doing lessons online on Zoom and things like that. So lessons have still been happening. And you mentioned viola and school orchestra. For a few months there, school band and orchestras were pretty locked down. But in our area, things are coming back. Most all school band and orchestra programs are open and are running again. So it's just a great time to get started in band and orchestra.
Well, and the other thing, piano guitar sales are going up. Those are pretty COVID safe things. You do it by yourself. You can stay distanced. You're not blowing on anything and having any of those go out. So, but just, I believe that, you said earlier we had Hutch there. He was playing some of the guitar. What were your honest, fair assessment here? Don't hold back any punches. How you thought he was, and I believe we have some video of it too.
Honestly, Hutch is pretty good. Like, Hutch is kind of maybe like a closet 80s rocker. I think he's, given the right situation, get him up on a stage with a guitar, I think he could do some 80s rock really well.
Maybe a side gig. He doesn't work weekends, so maybe we could see him up on stage. I love that.
He's had some time doing that, and actually, I'm unsure if we actually have video of Hutch playing.
Oh, there he is. No, he was there. We did when you looked down, he was there.
Oh, okay.
Now, another thing, besides people buying guitars, you said keyboards as well. Did you see more people picking up keyboards or pianos when they were locked up at home?
Yeah, absolutely. That's kind of a national trend right now. But both digital pianos, kind of anything keyboard related, a lot more has been going out our doors. So that's great to see too. And that's another instrument too that's great for all ages. It's great for younger kids. Piano's a little bit easier for them. It's all laid out in front of them. They don't have to do a lot of work to push the keys. So with lessons and everything, that's a great instrument to start with too.
If parents, or you don't have to be a parent, if you're like Hutch Johnson, you just need an upgrade on your guitar, how can people get a hold of you if they're like, well, maybe, I should look into this? What are the options for keyboards or pianos or guitars? How do they get a hold of you? And is it all right to give you a call and say, hey, I don't even know where to start?
Absolutely. We love that. Give us a call. Love to talk in person. Go on our website if you'd like to, or come in the store, whatever you're comfortable with.
And tell people where you're located again.
Yeah, we're in the Village West strip mall right across from West Acres.
Okay, so easy to find.
Yeah, right along 13th. The Hornbacher's kind of right next to it as well. Just
You
to
never
give you
know
some,
when, Mike Morgan will be sitting there playing piano and Hutch Johnson will be, jamming
going out at it. Yeah, and it's a fun store to go into. I love music stores. You see all the instruments, and I did notice one thing. They do have a range of stuff there. If you just want the electric piano or keyboard that doesn't take up much room, to the baby grand. Why not? They had it all there.
They got it all. Well, Dan, thank you so much for visiting with us. We appreciate your time.
Thanks so much, guys.
Well, now, if you're hungry, this next recipe, well, it's probably going to make your stomach growl even just a little bit more on this Monday morning. Our nutrition expert, she's in to show us how to make scrambled chickpeas. Stick around. That's next on North.